What's up, everybody? Sorry for the late podcast. Um, yeah, I explained it in the Facebook chat, but anyways, we're gonna just get right into it. Let us change this. Okay, so first we'll go over some NFL news that happened. This is literally from moments ago. Quinshon Judkins looking to play this week, apparently. Yep, my mic is on. Okay. Um, yeah, Quinshon Judkins apparently going to make his NFL debut this week. So Ben, that ended up being a pretty good pick. Week 2 he's going to play. Probably be a week or two more before he's like finally ramped up, but still think he's going to share with Dylan Sampson. The Thursday night game, I did not get to watch personally, but Jaden Reed broke his collarbone, and he's out, from what I'm seeing, until at least November. And Austin Eckler, probable torn Achilles, probably out for the year, maybe career ending because he's 30-something, and it's going to take at least a year to get back. So by the time he's actually fully ready to go, probably 32. Does he get a contract from another team? Probably not. So yeah, that's kind of sad. Other NFL news: Brock Purdy out. It is a toe injury, and then maybe like shoulder along with it. I don't know, but he's going to be out this week. So we're getting Mac Jones. Dallas Goedert is out. Xavier Worthy is doubtful. And the big news, Drake London and Darnell Mooney will play this Sunday. So, interesting stuff. The waivers this first week went a little crazy. So, Tiffany spent a good chunk of change to get Keenan Allen. I was next, and then there's a drop-off between Tim. I overpaid a little bit for Justin Fields. Becker picks up Hollywood, narrowly snagging him from Tiffany. Lovett gets Quentin Johnston from me because I literally upped my bid morning of, and I was like, no, 19's got to be enough. Nope, it wasn't. Justin Herbert to Tiffany, which, yes, she dropped Jerome Ford for him. I pick up Baishal Tootin, beating Becker out for $1 over. Tiffany gets the Rams, beating me out by $1. Lance gets the Cardinals on default because Tiffany's trying to pick up every defense. And Lovett gets the Bills defense. So, other than that, Tim picks up Kareem Hunt. Ben picks up my Josh Downs. And then just 12 minutes ago, Tiffany picks back up Jaden Higgins, so we're back square one where we started. And Lovett replaces the injured Dallas Goedert with Brenton Strange. So, not a bad choice for a backup, if I gotta say myself. So, he looks pretty promising. Getting right into actually, we should probably go over what happened this last week. So, I narrowly beat Tim. It was very, very close. Jordan Mason was the deciding, like the last game or whatever, and that was a little too close for comfort. So, good game, Tim. Tiffany defeats Lance. Yeah. So, big performances from Tiff's team and a couple duds on there. And then just kind of like a low solid for Lance. He had George Kittle get hurt, but he caught a touchdown before he got hurt. Xavier Worthy out. Malik Neighbors kind of had a mid-game. Kenneth Walker had a mid-game, or a bad game for Kenneth Walker. Not a great game for DJ Moore. It is what it is. Matt, I keep thinking, Matt's name changes is confusing me. Really bad week from Ben. I'm pretty sure he was the lowest scoring team last week. Just a dud from Brown. I mean, for Amon-Ra, I think this is a dud game. Tony Pollard, kind of a dud game. Hampton's just getting into the swing of things. And then week 1, Joe Burrow, dud game. Going up against Lamar, Cook, Bowers. Olave played okay. Kind of a bad week for Ben there, and Matt gets the victory. Becker beats Lovett pretty soundly. Josh Allen, Bijan, the usual studs. Chubba Hubba did pretty good. Lovett's team's not looking as bad, but the Matthew Golden, like I said, would probably hurt. Looking at the bench players, just see if anybody. Yeah, I mean, Becker had a pretty good bench too. Keon Coleman had a big game, so congratulations, Becker. And then Kim beats Jordan. Her Bucks team went pretty good there. Jordan had some good performances from Zay Flowers, but a dud from. I mean, I guess not a dud, but kind of a dud from Bo Nix. And for Chase standards, that's a dud. Brian Robinson had a pretty bad game. Terry McLaurin, Hawkinson, it's week 1 woes. It happens. Happens to everybody. And then week 2. So I've kind of went through ahead of time instead of trying to figure it out on the fly. I have Lovett defeating me this week. Pretty good performance from Jaden Daniels. Josh Jacobs, I was hoping for a couple touchdowns. Didn't quite get there. And also had a touchdown from Debo. So I just, hindsight of the future games here, I'm not feeling super confident. I do have Christian McCaffrey. He's apparently the entire 49ers offense. And everyone else is injured. But with Mac Jones, I don't know how I feel about it. So picking Lovett for the victory this week. And then we've got Ben and Tiffany. I've got Ben defeating Tiffany. I think Joe Burrow bounces back a little bit. Amon-Ra bounces back a little bit. I don't like the double Detroit passing offense thing here, though. I think one of them will. I'm expecting a good game from Amon-Ra and a kind of a bad game from Laporta. A.J. Brown has to. They're going to have to throw against Kansas City. I know it's going to be a lower scoring game and kind of like a chess match, but they're still going to have to. Both offenses are going to score, so I think A.J. Brown, gets his stuff this week. Looking for a decent game from Tet. I don't think Tony Pollard's going to do a whole lot, but on Tiffany's side, the Cowboys have a rough opening schedule. I think the Giants' defense is a little bit better than everybody gives them credit for. So I think they're going to have a little bit more of a rough game and maybe run the ball a little bit more than we would all like to see. Kamara is the only one on the Saints offense, really. I don't know. H.N. probably has I don't think he has a 20-point game. I'm thinking 10 to 15 points. Puka, I don't really know. Tyler Warren's going to get his targets. Apparently, we've all seen it now. He is the Colts offense along with Michael Pittman. Marvin Harrison, I don't know. Aaron Jones is probably going to get some passing work, so I'm okay with that play. I don't know if I was her if I would play Herbert or not over Dak. I know you got the stack, but I personally would be playing Keenan Allen. I'd find a way to get him in there. Keenan Allen's a PPR machine, but I'm picking Ben. Got a little bit of an upset pick. I know it says it's not really that much of an upset, but it is to me. I've got Lance beating Matt. I like his matchups better this week. I think the Raiders are going to have to hand the ball off to Genty. Monday night games are always, I feel like they're always slow. I feel like the Sunday night games, even going back into last year, I think the Sunday night games were really good games, and then the Monday nights were kind of just real slow. Like run the ball type of games. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I like Hurts this week against Kansas City. I like Genty. I actually like Javante to continue looking really bad, but yet getting some fantasy numbers and some goal line touchdowns. Malik Neighbors bounce back. I still don't like DJ Moore. Kyle Pitts. It hurts him a little bit now that Drake London and Darnell Mooney are going to be back, but don't really know what to think. Ricky Pearsall is apparently the only wide receiver in San Francisco, and I think Travis Hunter is going to get at least a touchdown this week, and I think he's going to. I'm expecting a couple of like Debo type running plays, jet sweeps or something from Travis. I almost said Tyler Hunter. Travis Hunter this week. Matt does have a very decent team and with a lot of players that I do like. Lamar Jackson against Cleveland, I think, is going to have a very good game. James Cook against the Jets. The Jets have a decent defense, I think, but it's James Cook. He's up and then he's down. You never know. Travis Etienne is going to have a good game. They traded away Tank Bigsby. Travis Etienne is the running offense for this team until proven otherwise. Cincinnati's defense is terrible. Drake London, with him getting hurt, I'm not expecting as much as I normally would from Drake London. So I could be proven wrong there. He could not be as hurt as I think he is. I don't know. Devonta Smith, I like the play because if Jalen Hurts potentially passes to Devonta Smith, you're good to go there. You're getting the points. I don't know. I don't think Brock Bowers plays. Yeah, didn't practice on Friday. I really don't think he plays. So I'm putting Mark Andrews in for Brock Bowers. And Isaiah Likely is out this week, but I still don't like the Mark Andrews play. I get the stack thing, and you could get super lucky with a touchdown or two from Lamar to Mark Andrews and completely ruin my take here, but I don't know. Chris Olave got peppered with targets, so maybe I'm wrong on Chris Olave. I still don't like him because he's one hit away, but it is what it is. Stephon Diggs did not look very good. He was one of the ones that I was looking for in the draft to get, and he looked terrible week one, but it was just week one. I was honestly expecting a lot more from the Pack. The Packers have a really good team this year. Like, the Packers are potentially like Super Bowl bound. Their defense is amazing. Their offense is very good. I was expecting a little bit more than 5 points from the defense. So that's another reason I'm picking an upset this week with Lance. This matchup, I have Becker defeating Kim. And the reason I have Becker defeating Kim is I really like a lot of his matchups this week, while Kim's is very dependent to me on the Buccaneers. Baker, Bucky, and Mike Evans. You've got a quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver all on the same team, all on Monday night. So see what I said previously about Monday night games. And you have the Houston defense against all of your players here. It's kind of just one of those, like, you're capping your points by playing three of the same team and the defense against those people. You got a ceiling up there. I probably like Baker, but not so much Bucky and Evans. I'm hoping he passes it to Ibuka, in all seriousness, but don't know how to feel about McConkey, Keenan Allen, and oh my God, I'm blanking on Johnston. I'm blanking on his first name. Got a lot of the targets last week. McConkey did okay, but Saquon's always going to get his. I don't know how to feel about DeAndre Swift against Detroit. Revenge game for Ben Johnson, but it is DeAndre Swift. He he'd probably get around 10 points. Devontae Adams, how did he do week 1? 9 fantasy points, 4 for 8. Okay, so he got a little bit more targets than I thought he did. I don't know about Devontae Adams. Honestly, it's kind of a question mark to me. Not expecting a great game from Travis Kelce, regardless of Xavier Worthy being out. I think this is more of a. Honestly, I think this is going to be a juju game, but that's sad to say. And Becker, Josh Allen, you never go against Josh Allen. Bijan is going to get Bijan. Brees Hall's the running offense for the Jets, so there. I do not like Tyreek Hill this week. I don't think anybody likes Tyreek Hill this week, and also don't like Calvin Ridley. But Hollywood, if I'm wrong about Juju, it's a Hollywood game, so there you go. Trey McBride is always good, and like Chuba Hubbard against Arizona as well. And then, so Becker with the win there, in my opinion. And then got Tim beating Jordan. It's a little bit of hindsight here with the Thursday night games already happening. And a huge performance from Tucker Kraft. And before, Tim, I know you're going to go on a victory lap and say that everybody hated Tucker Kraft and da-da-da-da. It wasn't, at least personally for me, it wasn't that I hated Tucker Kraft. It's just I think you took him way early. I really liked Tucker Kraft this year. He was going to be my tight end, but I wasn't going to pick him, anywhere near where he ended up going or where he probably was going to go. So I just knew I probably wasn't going to get him. But I do like Tucker Kraft, especially with all the Packer injuries that are going on. Tucker Kraft's going to continue to be good. Not a great game from Terry McLaurin, just kind of. The Packers defense is pretty good, so he got some PPR stuff. He got you enough, but Patrick Mahomes, while maybe not for fantasy, he's going to perform at least good enough to keep up with Philly. So I'm thinking like 10 to 15 points from Patrick Mahomes. Derrick Henry is an ageless wonder, and we should never doubt him. Jordan Mason played better than I expected last week, so it looks really like it's a 50-50 timeshare between him and Aaron Jones. Nico, I think if the Texans have any shot of potentially winning this game, they're gonna have to get Nico the ball. Like Garrett Wilson this week against Buffalo. I don't really know how I feel about T. Higgins. It seems like it's either a mid game from Chase and a really big game from T. Higgins, or it's a good game for Chase and T. Higgins gets almost nothing. So I don't know. Cortland Sutton's going to have a good game this week, and I'm liking the Denver defense. I am a Colts fan, and I'm not on board with Daniel Jones being like as amazing as he was last week. I think the Dolphins are just that bad. So I like Denver's defense and the Cortland Sutton play. On Jordan's side, Bo Nix, I do like that play against Indy. I think Indy's, again, not as good. Tua threw them like freebie intercept. I could have caught those interceptions, and I am so uncoordinated. It was really bad Tua play last week. So I don't think it's so much so that Indy's defense and Indy's offense is that good. I think it's, again, Miami. James Conner, that's probably about right for Conner. Jonathan Taylor left they pulled him at the end of the game, and they said it was a neck injury, but yet he's not got any. I don't know what's going on with there. I always freak out when I see neck injury because, especially with running backs, like that could be just catastrophic, but he has got no injury designation, so I guess he's good to go. And Jonathan Taylor is kind of Indy's offense. So Chase I'm looking for a bounce back week. I'm looking for a bounce back week as well from Brian Thomas. Hawkinson, I think, has got a good chance to get a touchdown this week. And don't know about Zay Flowers, and I don't really know what to think about the Eagles-Chiefs game here. So, but yeah, picking Tim to win. What in the world happened here? Okay, I don't know. Okay, here we go. Yep, that's the last thing I wanted to look at was how much FAAB everybody has left. Yeah, okay. So Becker 78, I have 60. Cam has everything. Lance has everything. Tiffany only has 17 doll hairs left. Tim's got 97. Lovett's got 79. Oh, sorry. Matt has 100. It's confusing me with the every week changing the name thing. Lance has 99. Warshawski has 100, and Ben still has 100. So that is all I have for this week. Kind of a shorter episode. Yeah, so anybody wants to come on next week, please let me know. Again, can do it in person, Discord, whatever you guys want to do. You don't actually have to come over here. I realistically want to look at recording on Wednesday evenings because of the waivers running, but could obviously do it on Tuesday or Thursday as well. It sometimes depends on my schedule as well. So just let me know. And thank you guys for listening. And I will talk to you next week.